Lauren, Melissa, welcome to YouTube Conversations.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, congratulations on your success, weight loss, right?
Yeah.
Weight loss, and your YouTube channel.
Yeah. I guess that's success.
Other things as well. You moved and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, most of us red pill rage guys are still living with their moms and stuff. So for most of the guys that are bashing women don't have nothing in their name, but they're bashing women. So just want to say congratulations on that. And I also, right, you're black, right?
I'm black.
Okay.
100% black. Blackity black, black all the way.
Oh, I know you're black. You said 100. So that means you're
100.
black. So I want to congratulate you that you're not on IG thotting it up.
No.
So that I know that's probably like, as a black woman, that's probably like, very tempting, right? But you're staying strong.
I am staying strong. I mean, I wonder, like, you know how some people be like, man, God ain't make me tall for a reason. Because if I was tall, I'll be unstoppable. Like, I don't know how to do my own makeup. Like, I don't wear makeup. So, like, I think if I had that skill, the ability to do my own makeup and my own hair, I might be out here thotting around. No,
But
I'm just kidding.
how often do you wear makeup on your face? Like, I don't know what they call it, foundation.
I don't even. I don't wear foundation anymore. It's just tinted moisturizer.
So, do you think you would have that clear skin if you did wear makeup on a regular?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't want to say makeup causes,
It
acne
does.
and stuff.
It blocks up the pores. That's why a lot of women that takes off their makeup, even some of the men actors, right? They when they're not wearing makeup, you're like, golly, man, was you drinking? You look kind of tore up. So, all
Yeah.
right. So, just one congratulations on that. Um, does a woman body count matter?
Oh, here we go. I just feel like I'm like the spokesperson for people with body count. I've had this conversation multiple times with Anton. Shout out to Anton Daniel.
Yep.
Um, like in my opinion, it doesn't matter. The question I would ask is why. Why do you want to know about the number? Like what additional information is this number going to give you? Um, because I mean, if you think about it, I'm pretty sure Sierra had a large number. The singer had a large number. So what, or anybody else for that matter, like is the number a determining factor on whether or not you want to talk to her? Now I absolutely understand, like, well, I basically just want to know, like, does she have any diseases, or like, where her mental state is. But I feel like there are other exams or ways of knowing whether or not someone has an STD or whether or not a person is certified crazy. Again, a body count number is not going to give you that information.
Well, I think what's happening is that now, like, back in the old days, the way it used to be is like, hey, listen, I'm talking to this chick, so and so. You know her? No. Hey, yo, have you heard of this? Yeah, yeah, man, yeah, yeah. What
That's
happened was,
different. That's different. See, you're
but all
asking.
anytime we want to take, listen, if a man wants to take you serious, he's gonna call up some people,
That's
right?
fine.
Okay, so
That's different than wanting to know a number,
we
right?
don't, but the
The
number with the
number
body
doesn't
count,
matter.
like I would never ask a woman, hey, how many guys you been with? Was this bigger? I'm not gonna like I would never. But the I think the question is somewhat being asked the question like kind of like secretly, right? Amongst us men. We're not gonna ask you. I mean, I don't know. Do guys really ask that? How many men you slept with?
No, they usually just ask about like your last relationship or like your last two, which I think are questions that are acceptable.
Yeah.
But in terms of people being harping on like the actual number, it's
People don't
telling
want
a
to listen.
woman's mileage, and I'm like,
A man should have the right not to want to be with a hoe, right? You should not be on the same mileage as a prostitute. Would you agree?
I would
At least on
agree.
that. Okay.
But everybody's like number threshold is different.
You think if a woman lives in New York City, she's hoeing, and she moves to let's say the other side, California, right? And you think her behavior is gonna stop?
She might move differently, but the behavior is innate. It's still
So
there.
a woman that doesn't have a high body count moving from New York, moving to California, Do you think she's all of a sudden gonna say, you know what? I'm moving to a new state. It's time to go wild. There ain't no churches
Again,
over here.
again, she can move different. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen someone be the most innocent, most, I never would have thought, literally go the other way. And I've seen someone who was literally like really out there go the complete opposite. I think as humans, we change. Humans, we evolve. And who are we to say, oh, just because in your 20s you were out there, life is doomed for you? Unless like it doesn't make sense.
I think that, women could turn around and men too could do what they want, but I think every man has the right to say, hey, I don't want a hoe.
Well, a woman could say the same thing about a man. Men are
But
not keeping count.
the physical is different, right? The more you get plunged, right? Is that a proper word to say on YouTube? Can I say that? Because I know they're censoring a lot of stuff.
Plunge might be more smash, whatever. The more they smash a person.
No, a smash is something really delicate. It happens like,
Is it?
A smash is just like very delicate. Plunge is just like ran through, Someone be a little anyway. So we'll move on with that. So let me ask you, what makes a hoe besides prostitution, whatever? Because a lot of the women that's on IG,
carelessness.
Okay.
Carelessness makes a hoe.
So what if a woman's careful, but she slept with 20 people?
She's just promiscuous.
A fancy way of being. Yeah. Okay.
You asked.
Yeah, I just thought about it. So you know what? I asked. So okay. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay. We're gonna start the BS a little early in this interview.
Oh, child.
So you're single, right?
I'm single.
All right. So we're gonna put you on a date right now. Okay. We're gonna put you on a date. Okay. So let me see. So you're on a date. This is the perfect guy. Everything is right. Everything is right with him. He picks you up on a date. Maybe y'all go play pool. And now you're sitting at dinner. Pool, whatever. Bowling, it don't matter. Something friendly, okay. Right? Friendly. And now you're sitting at a dinner table. And you're just like, wow, everything's perfect. You've known him for some time. It's not like some new guy. You've known him. And everything's perfect. Saying the right words to get your heart. All that sentimental stuff, right?
Okay.
Now, he grabs his cup. And he's drinking. But guess what happens? His tea falls in the cup. Okay? You have to let him know his tea fell in the cup without ruining the date. Go
ahead. Hey, something dropped in your cup.
You say just like that?
I'm like, hey, something just dropped in your cup. Like, I don't want to assume that it's his teeth. It could have just been a one tooth. It could just be fake teeth. Maybe he was testing me. And then I'll ask, like, are you okay? Do you need some more adhesive thing or whatever it's called?
Adhesive tape?
No, what do you call it? The bonding?
The gel.
The gel? Like, I'll ask him. I don't have a problem. Like that, I look at that as equivalent to someone having something on their mouth or something. Like, you got something right there. And I'm from Detroit. So if you're from Detroit or anywhere in the Midwest, if something go wrong, you'd be like, ooh, like, and so that'll be me. I'm like, something, you got to get that.
Listen, man, if I'm sitting at the table, man, you can put me in any scenario. Her teeth fall out, I'm out.
I wouldn't leave my man's high and dry. I'll ask him, is he okay? And I'm like, what happened? I thought your teeth was real.
I need to ask myself, am I okay? Because that's crazy, right?
No, I'm not super. Like, I think that's like superficial. Like, people have like
that should have been discussed ahead of time.
No, listen. If you've watched my live or anybody watched my live, I don't play about teeth. Okay. Now, there could be a reason why he has false teeth. It could be that all his teeth were rotten and he had to get. This was his only alternative. I would prefer him have dentures than walk around with rotten teeth. And I respect my man's for addressing the issue. I can't help it that perhaps like implants either didn't work out or wasn't necessarily responsible, like not responsible but affordable. You got what you could. Who's to say that down the line you can't get implants? That could be all he could afford at the moment. But I'm grateful that he addressed the problem because I do think that teeth is a really big investment, but it's major and it's crucial. It makes or breaks a lot of people in terms of looks.
Now, if I'm 80 years old and I'm on a date and her teeth falls out, I'm cool with it, right? But I'm not that old. You know what I'm saying? To have the whole thing come out.
And genetically, you got to have some grace. Some people cannot help the lineage that they were born into. I know some people who just their parents' grill was jacked up, they grill jacked up. And so that's what you have to take into account if you want to date that person, because that means if y'all get together, your kids' teeth might be jacked up. And if you are planning for that, are you saving for the possibility that you're going to have to get braces for your kids?
Peace.
I'm just saying, that's mean. They can't help it. Now it'll be different if it's not different. Like there's a scenario for everything. Like he could have gotten into a fight, some dude knocked his teeth out, and they couldn't be replaced.
Look, man, you gotta say that up front. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yeah, you gotta say that up front. Your whole thing come up. But anyway, right? So that's cool. So that's one way. So now you have a boyfriend with no teeth, right?
A boyfriend with artificial teeth, because he has teeth.
Oh, he
They're
does.
just
Okay.
not there. Don't
Not
even
there.
try to see. That's how y'all do. This is the scenario. We're in a scenario, y'all. I don't have a boyfriend. Let's start there. This is just a scenario. He want to take me through this virtual date with a man with artificial teeth. Come on, what's next?
Okay, so let's take a step back. Okay,
Okay.
where did you grow? You grew up in Detroit, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Poor, middle class, or upper class? How did you grow?
Maybe middle, upper, maybe middle, more middle. But I grew up middle class in an upper class environment.
In Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I thought all of Detroit was kind of. No, I mean that's
I
what they
wouldn't
be.
say the hood. No, it's not even a hood, but the neighborhood. I guess it is the hood if you call it neighborhood, but the hood I grew up in. It's not necessarily a quote unquote hood as one would assume, but most doctors, lawyers, people with status lived in the area. The singer Aaliyah stayed before she got discovered by R. Kelly. Lived a couple doors down. Lived a couple doors down from me. I had pastors that lived in the neighborhood. So I mean, like it was one of those neighborhoods.
Aaliyah for a young age, she been ran through too. She been quite
But
ran
the
through.
difference is nobody called her a hoe because she was not careless.
Um, well, I think the
She was.
part of it, has to do with family. If you're young and your family's tossing you around, because her uncle introduced her to R. Kelly, you
Mm-hmm,
know, and there's rumors of other members of R. Kelly when at that time, of other stuff going on with the mom as well, and the mom been really quiet. Aaliyah's mom's been really quiet with this whole R. Kelly thing, right?
mm-hmm.
She didn't make no statements. So, what was your biggest struggle growing up?
My biggest struggle growing up was maybe making friends. I grew up as the only girl. I have three brothers, and I'm just used to being friends with men, like boys. Just because I was always around their friends. So when it came to school, I was smart. I didn't have like a posse, if you will, growing up in middle school. It was just me, and then maybe some other chicks, girls who had problems making friends, and we clicked. I was known as like the teacher's pet, the know-it-all, all that. I got in all that. So, and the way I talk too, people were like, why do you talk like that? Because I even my dad, when I moved to go to college, it was like, you fit right in, and I'm like, okay.
So, did you grow up in a two-parent household?
For the first 15 years of my life, I did. Yes.
Oh, so basically you have. Now, have you grew up around other people that didn't grow up in a two-parent household?
Mm,
I would
yes
say
and
people that's
no.
close to. Okay, nice. Yep.
Yes and no. Like, they had a stepdad and a mom, and then like their dad. So it was like it was like a single parent. Then they got married, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if there's a man in the house, basically you could count that as, So,
Yeah.
so from your biggest struggle not being able to make friends, what have you learned from that?
I'm very observant. Very observant. A lot of like I remember when I first came on YouTube, a lot of people are like, she don't talk much. Why she don't speak up? Why she I'm very observant. So I notice things about people. And so me not having friends made me more observant. Like I didn't have a lot of conversations with people. I just watched, right? Um There's a plus side and a downside to that, though, because I did a lot of watching and observing and just taking mental notes and things like that. Um, I often didn't talk a lot, so I didn't necessarily find my voice until I was like well into like my teenage young adult years, like 18, 19, 20, where I was just like, there's something good. Like I have a lot to say. I feel with a lot of things of what I observed over the years. How come like I'm having difficulty articulating how I feel? So for a long time, it was like, Lauren, you have to find your voice, you know? So
Okay, I mean that it does come with a plus because you didn't. That means you didn't get involved with a lot of stuff that was happening, especially in Detroit, right?
mhm.
Even though you was in probably the better area, but I'm pretty sure the area you was at, a few blocks over, maybe like a mile over, was different, right?
Yeah. So it was, well, I mean, if you crossed a 7 mile, it got, a little sketchy, but then on the other side it was nice. So, you
Okay,
know,
yeah,
I
because
don't
when
want to
you
say where I grew up at because then people come be like, oh, let's find out. People are weird.
and by the way, when you were on Instagram earlier and you was typing, it sounded like roaches were scattering. You know,
Duh, oh
it's so
my
fast.
God.
You type really fast.
Oh
So,
my
do you have
God.
you have siblings? You said right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you put all you and the siblings together, both your parents in one room, what happens?
What happens? Uh, I don't know.
Like with me, my wallet will probably be missing if me and my family was in the
Oh
same room.
no, we
Yeah.
would just probably all start a game of Monopoly. Like we're a very competitive family.
Oh yeah, get along. Okay. So you're 100% black.
100% black.
Okay.
The same,
Congratulations
and
on that
we and
too.
we we all have the same mom and dad.
Oh wow. Wow. Another. So big ups to your mom. Congratulations. No, seriously, congratulations on that as well. So, what would be what is as far as what you can gather? What is your mom's lesson as far as why she stood? I think that's really important, right?
But the lesson is to what?
Why did she stay?
Why did she stay in the marriage?
Yeah.
Probably for the kids. I actually, I don't know if I said this on another live. I'd be telling all my little business. I don't think I've ever asked her why,
But
right?
from what you can observe, right?
Yeah, I mean, she was the active parent. Like she was the marching band mom, the dance mom. She literally did everything. And so it was just like to create a sense of normalcy and consistency. Like, and it got to a point where I mean, I'm her youngest. I have like brothers that are 10, 8 years older than me. So by the time it got to us, she had already been through parenting. She like, I know how to parent. Like
Mm.
it's, you know, d- we got it good.
So with your parents, as far as you can tell, right?
hmm
Did they have like a sit down before they had kids? Say, hey, listen, this is going to be your role. This is going to be my role.
I don't know. I didn't ask that. I don't think that they did. No, if I had to guess.
I think that even with the Kevin Samuels, it's like the same questions. Like the whole thing with the woman, how many men she slept with, the same questions being asked in the black community though. It's like why haven't we? A question should be asked once, get the answer, and learn
Move.
and move forward, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like, do you feel like the black people from the time Kevin Samuel made the video, you're average at best, right? How do you feel? Do you feel from that time to now we've been we've improved dating?
I think we're more aware. We're more aware. Um, do I think we're asking the right questions? We're not all the way there yet. I think we know the questions to ask, but it's like getting out of our own way and unlearning the things that we've learned. I think that's the space that we're in. And when I say we're aware, I mean, me and one of my homegirls from college, literally, I saw the transformation. She went from I ain't rocking with him to actually he has a point. Dang, he's preaching. He's right. I do need to do X, Y, and Z. So change is what we have to understand is change is not instant. Change happens over time. And um just because we're not necessarily seeing the fruits of the following in all the things that are going on, people are listening. It's going to take time for us to see like a complete change in how we move on the dating scene. So you have some people who have already done the work, the self work, who realize what needs to change, and then you have some others that are like, I know, but I don't know if I'm ready to change. And we have to be patient and okay with that, instead of shaming people who is like, you just don't know. Like, it's trauma. For somebody to change in a heartbeat, it could cause trauma, right?
Yeah. So in that process of changing, right? Do you think um the single woman and the single men should tolerate the people who don't want to change?
No,
Shouldn't they be kind of discarded to the side
that's
until they're
where
ready?
that's where we go wrong. That's where we go wrong, is that we spend most of our time dealing with people who aren't ready, hoping that they'll get ready or we'll get them to become ready. And then that's when we get disappointed. So the conversation that I had on YouTube today, not on YouTube, on Instagram today, was just like, if you know that this person is not, you don't see this person in your future, why are you even talking to them? If you know you've had all these conversations and she's not giving you the answers that you're looking for, why even continue? Just let it go. And it's not to say that that person's a bad person, but
Yeah, I think like when I teach my nephews and so forth, listen, my cousins, when you go out on a date, the woman has to be into you on a 10, not a 9, maybe a 9, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how much interest she has in you, it got to be a 10. If she's not on a 10, you ain't getting laid.
why it can't
No,
be an
you ain't
8 or
getting laid.
9?
You're not getting laid. You be taking her on the 9th date, trying to get no. If you take a woman out and she's really into you, on a scale of 1 to 10, at least between a 9 and 10, you're gonna hit a home run.
I don't know. How would you even measure that? How would you know?
I mean, there's several things you could do. You'll see, she's really interested in you, how much she's messaging you. There's different ways. There's different ways you can do it. If for whatever reason something does come up, um, she's gonna make sure that you do reschedule. Or maybe she'll offer to take you out. And I think I think it's because men should not be taking women out if they're not really into. And I think that's how dates. Any date I've been on, the dates went really well.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I take a woman out and she's really into me, you take a woman out that's kind of like a 7, she'll be taking pictures of her food on Instagram.
I don't know.
She gotta be. Dates need to be, the person needs to be really like excited to see you, into you. If she's not excited, have you been on a date and you're like on the 7 with a guy?
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was regular. Like, I didn't leave with butterflies. You feel like every date a woman should and a man should feel butterflies on this date?
I didn't say butterfly, but she's into you. It's exciting. It's like,
just
wow.
Because I'm a 7 means I'm into you. It's just at a 7. Like, why does this?
You can keep your 7 self home.
7s are great.
7s, you stay home. You stay home and your friend that's into attending to me will come along.
7s are great. Like, why? What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, like, I don't feel like you accomplished anything by taking out someone that's kind of interested.
You don't know until you have.
I ain't trying to find out either. I ain't trying to find out.
That's the problem.
Well, I think a lot of people waste time with dating, right? I think dating can be really fun if you date someone. Imagine 2 people going out. Have you been out with a guy that you're really, really interested in on a 9 or 10?
Yes.
Did you have, even though it didn't work out, did you have fun?
Yes. It's regular fun.
Hold on. You had fun, right?
Yes.
The guy that was a 7, did you have fun?
Yes.
The same way you had fun with the guy a 9
I enjoyed myself. No. Yes. I'm a fun person. Like, you bring your personality. Unlike other people, I'm not bringing a representative. So whether or not I'm at a 7 or a 10, I'm going to make the most of the moment.
A 7 is the guy with the teeth falling out.
And it was great. We had a great time eating. And you know what? We laughed about it when his teeth fell in the cup. Like, we made a joke about it. I mean, guys worry about the wrong things.
Nah,
Y'all
man,
worried about the wrong things.
If the woman's not on a 9 or 10, You're gonna take her out. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna walk her home, and you're gonna get a little hug. You ain't getting laid though, you know.
That's not the
So
goal. That's
that
not the goal.
eventually, I mean, so okay, let's talk about that, right?
Hmm.
Just about. If a guy takes a woman out, how many dates should he take her out? And of course, I know it all matters, right? It all matters. It matters, right? When a guy takes a woman out, he's getting his way too because he took her out. Okay, but the woman's having more of her way. Great. So when should the guy get laid? How many dates?
How many dates?
Mm-hmm.
There's no limit. I mean, there's no. It's not a number.
Pays. But if you had to put a number on it,
I'm
I mean,
not
it doesn't.
though.
Listen, it doesn't categorize you. It's not like I'm characterizing you. I'm just saying.
It honestly, I'm
Yeah.
being completely honest. It really depends on the guy because like there are some like I've been on multiple dates with a
It
guy.
depends on a 9 or 10 guy. Mm-hmm.
No, there's been a couple dudes that I've liked at a 10 level with two completely different experiences. Both I really are very memorable in terms of standard, literally set standards for me of like if a dude comes around, they have to be at this caliber. One was like 10. I really, really like. One, it had to grow to a 10. It was never just a 10. Like I was not head over heels for this dude. But it was the things and experiences leading up to it that got me to a 10. So just because I'm not off rip on the first or second date, I'm not at a 10, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Well, I know with your move and you with your current job, do you have in your YouTube channel and the other stuff you're doing? Do you have a lot of open time?
No.
Would you rather? So with your minimum time, you only have one day to go out. Would you rather go out the 7 guy you're interested in, or the guy you're interested in at 10? You'll actually pick the 7.
I'll pick both.
You
One
only
in
can
the
go.
morning, one at night.
But guess which one's gonna be at the night? The 7 or 10?
Probably the 10.
I'm gonna leave it like that. All right.
There's nothing wrong with it though. They're both equally likable. Like I like them both. The 7 and the 10.
But the 10's gonna win though.
Not necessarily. The 10 didn't win. Neither did the 7. So numbers don't matter.
Okay, I'm not gonna. You're very classy, so I'm gonna keep it like that, right?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying you're very. I know you're very modest, right? So I'm not gonna go in on like that. So okay.
I'm glad you know.
Yeah. So how would you rate dating in 2021?
On a scale from ghetto to very ghetto, extremely ghetto. What? Dating is difficult. Like I'm not even gonna hold you because I mean we're wearing masks for goodness sake, okay? I think one of my best features is my smile. I like my smile. I like my teeth. I like my oral hygiene. Like I think that is the selling point to me. If I had to name the feature of myself that I like, unfortunately, people cannot see that. And neither can I see their grill. Let me see your grill. Let me see. And so, and also people haven't been going out either, right? So the likeliness of me talking or running into somebody or meeting somebody, it has to be through some virtual platform, which I have large trust issues with. Number one, because people can create whatever personas that they want.
Yeah.
So when I say it's ghetto, it's just not fun because in addition to all of the other hurdles we just talked about, like all the questions you got to ask, the things you got to look out for, the fact that you actually don't know this person and you haven't met them in person and you're having conversations with them via DM, if that's someone's story out there, like that's just something else you have to consider. So it's just so much. And I said it all the time. Where's the playbook? There's no game plan, no playbook to say this is how you date in 2021.
Yeah. You
And
made a good point. You made a good point on Instagram today. Why don't people hook up people that mutually, right? Or within my network, right? I think part of it is that people don't want to be responsible for, even though this guy I know is a really good person, I don't want to be responsible for, God forbid, he breaks your heart, because you're gonna hold that on me.
That's just the conversation. We just have to be very clear. It's like, hey, I have a friend. I think y'all will be great, but just to let you know, I'm absolving myself from this. I'm not involved. I don't want to know the status. I don't want to know how it's going. I'm just making the connection. Y'all do with that what you will. I think that is very mature. I think that's very wise. I think more people need to act in that regard, especially if you trust this person. This person knows you. This person has seen you grow, and vice versa. So why not trust the people you're around to make those connections instead of them being selfish and saying, I don't want that guilt or whatever. Nobody's telling you and putting a stamp on your chest or your forehead to say the ultimate matchmaker. You just see two good people that you want to be together.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
I think the best way to get hooked up is through like you said, you have a friend and she knows this person, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I think that's really. I personally, I've never I've never went out with a woman I don't know, you know, which is yeah, I just never just freestyle, you know, don't know what this. I just can't do that, you know. I have to know. It has to be something like we met up or mutually something like that, you know. I gotta know something about you for a while. I'm not gonna just, you know, I'm on a date with you and your baby daddy pop up, bow, you know. Nah, I'm not.
Yeah, and I think again, it just goes back to that maturity piece. Like I'm really looking at how open you are to having certain conversations with me. I'm also looking like, how do I have to pry something out of you that I feel is basic? Like those are things that you think about. Like, are you open and willing to talk about finances? Are you open and willing to talk about kids? If I bring up the word kids, are you clammy? Like, how does your face look? How is your tone? So like these are all things that we got to look at, and they're all red flags or signs that we should be looking for.
And I do think people need to set the date and stop the communication from there.
Yeah.
Don't ask all those questions in text messages because you can't, like you said, you can't see the reaction. A lot of people make the mistake and they're doing so many communications, and then by the time they go on a date, there's nothing to talk about
Yep.
because
Yeah.
you're going out with that seven.
Yeah, and I respect men who do that. I know not a, it's been older men who do that, where it's like, hey, this very clear cut, cuts to the chase and says, I want to take you out. This is the time and place, and that's where we'll talk. And boom, no conversation after that. In fact, I think that builds more anticipation, right? Instead of saying, I want to take you out, I want to meet me here. Okay, cool. So yeah, what you doing tonight? What you getting into? Ugh, stop. Like we set the date. Let's pick it up when I see you.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of us men, because I grew up in a single parent as well. A lot of us men didn't grow up with fathers or male figures, so we don't know. Well, not we. I put myself out of that shit. But a lot of the men don't know how to properly date.
Mm,
A lot of men don't know how to properly date. And a lot of guys don't state their intention up front because they think you're not gonna give that up. But I think that yeah, I just think that just like you said, there's no rule book, right?
no rule book. Yeah, people experience people differently, and I mean it makes sense why there's no rule book, because what works for you, right? And it's not going to work for everybody else. But I do think that if women are going to be continually held to a specific standard to say this is how you got to move, well, I want to see, like, show me something to like show me something, right? Because just because you say this is how I need to move, it doesn't mean that for all men. Like all men don't agree to that.
Let me ask you, okay? So in your profession or just in life in general, you dealt with multiple different cultures, right? Races, cultures,
Hmm.
and you see different people married, right?
Hmm.
So for you, I mean, you've seen that black people don't have it together when it comes to relationships and marriage, right? Excluding your family, right? But majority,
Hmm.
okay, got it. All right, why?
Why don't black people have it together?
With the relationship, we're such a small percentage, right? We're such a small percentage in America compared to other races, but we have the largest percentage of single parent households.
Right. I think we don't have the conversation. We don't communicate. I think too often we as people learn too late in life what went wrong with our family, or what went wrong with our mom, what went wrong with our dad. We don't, no one talks to us. My homegirl made a status the other day, and was like, I was in self-reflection, and I realized my parents never talked to me about certain things about life growing up. They never said, look out for people like this or whatever. So we just need to start having a conversation. I do see a shift with people my age, though. I think we're more vocal and more transparent with our own kids. Like my friends that do have children, the conversations and things that they're teaching them today are completely different than what they experienced it with them growing up. So, yeah.
Do you think us as Black people ever get it together?
Some do, yeah. The ones that want to change. I talked a little bit
In
about,
general.
yeah, I think we do. I mean, I still stick by it with some people do, the ones that want to, right? Because I mentioned it on my Instagram live the other day or today, and I said, there are certain people who are comfortable being where they are. They enjoy being on the block. They enjoy going to the same neighborhood store. They enjoy going to the same functions. They are product of routine. They enjoy it. They like it. But there are some people who are like, I know that there's more out there. And those are the people that change. Those are the people that do the work to get out of whatever current situation and circumstance they're in order to experience said things. I love to travel. Now, did I travel a lot when I was a kid? No. But when I got my first like real job and I was able to travel for my job, I realized this is a part of life that I haven't experienced and I want to. And if I want to do that, what things do I need to change and or do to live the life that I want? I think some Black people just don't know what's out there.
Do you believe that white people in 2021 is the reason why we're not as a whole successful?
No. White people don't got nothing to do with it.
No, white people.
That's what I mean. White people don't have
Okay.
anything to do with it. We are in our own way. It's our own desire and willingness to change. White people are living their lives. They're doing what they've always done. They're doing what they have always done. They are doing nothing different. Reason why we feel like history is repeating itself, because all the same stuff is happening. And the same stuff is happening because we have not gotten in our spirit to change. If we don't like the way something is being done, we have to do something different. And unfortunately, we don't have enough people that's willing to do something different.
I mean, if you look at a social media platform, this is just social media wise, right? Do you feel like, I mean, it's kind of broad to act, but the Black YouTube, the Black YouTube is concerning with, Lapeef, like those type of that space, Man Affair, whatever. Do you feel like us as Black people get along?
Do we get along as Black people? Some do, but I also believe that I don't even know how to describe it. I think we're all after the same thing. We want to be free from basically censorship. Like, we want to be free to be ourselves, and this is the way to do it. And I think because there's so many people doing it, it's creating this culture of competition, or it's creating this culture of we all can't be here. But this is nothing new. It don't got nothing to do with the YouTube streets. You look at corporate, Black people in corporate. You look at Black people just in the workforce in general. If you've ever worked in an environment that's majority white and you are one of 3 Black people, they always try to make it a competition amongst the 3 Black people. They always try to make you compete against your own, because there's always only been space for 1 or 2.
Got it.
And so until we make our own, where we can all exist, instead of literally acting like crabs in a barrel and trying to get up and tearing people down in the process, that's where we are going to always continue to repeat the cycle.
So how do you avoid YouTube beef?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in YouTube beef. Like, I don't know. Just continue to do you.
Okay, because I've seen even in your platform, there's some people that just pretty sure you're seeing some comments. People say some stuff, and you just like you're just doing your own thing. You don't. You're not. Your platform has nothing to do with all this other stuff. So you're very successful in your YouTube channel, in your content creation. So I just want other people that's trying to do what you're doing to learn how to avoid
Yeah,
fights. And,
it's inevitable. I mean, you can't control how people, act or react or behave. I think if you, for me, and I'm thank you for saying it's success, because I don't necessarily see it as that. I just see me grinding. I'm literally working with my head down and praying that I make the right moves, do the right things, because again, not a playbook. There's there's nothing to say, hey, welcome to Black YouTube. These are the rules of engagement. Like nothing, right? You kind of just the only way you learn is by making mistakes. The only way you learn is to do stuff and you be like, damn, probably shouldn't do that again. Lesson learned, right? That's life in general. So my thing is, in order to avoid that, be like, just do you and just remember your why. Remember why you started your channel. And if you get all hung up in whatever, like if I entered the YouTube space saying I want to vlog, I want to talk about my journey, blah blah blah, and then 6 months later I'm like, man, F that. I just want to make $1,000 a month. Oh, you're gonna run into some problems. Because when you built your platform, you built it off of one goal, and now you're shifting it and abandoning your why, and now you have no direction. So you got to build the direction that you want your channel to go in before you embark on this like whole I want to be like a YouTube sensation, which I don't know that I'm on that trajectory, but I just like talking.
So let me ask you, right? Your intro, right? Your YouTube channel, your intro. I guess like the first video you post is probably like a minute long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you get your inspiration from? Because I was like, wow, that's even in 4K. It's very very clean. I felt like that because Kevin Samuels set a tone how YouTubers should be. The lights in the background. We got this going on.
Yeah.
So, but yours is. I felt like you set another trend of just very clean, right? What was your inspiration for that intro video?
It was just me. Just that's when I close my eyes and then like envision who is Lauren Melissa, is that it gives you like a comfortable, warm feeling. Like I want you to feel like you're a part, right? If you go to my website, it's like your next best friend. Like I want us to have a conversation, be engaged in conversations where you feel comfortable saying whatever you want to say. And I had to think about, okay, what does this look like? Do I want to sit at a table? Probably not, because that's kind of formal. Like, or do I want a couch where we can just sit, talk? It looks like a living room. Because when you're a best friend, y'all sit in the living room, you kiki it up, right? So like, these are the conversations that I have in my head of like, what do I want people to feel? So.
Okay, so we got to talk about it, right? So before you started your YouTube channel, you was on the Lapeef network, right?
Before I started the Lapeef, I was on Instagram doing Lunch with Lauren.
Lunch with Lauren. Okay.
And then Anton slid through Lunch with Lauren, and we had a conversation about body count, which is why I laughed, because the whole body count conversation started on my Lunch with Lauren on my Instagram page. And the conversation got so heated, not heated, but like it got so thick that he was like, all right, I want to have you on my morning show. Or it was at night at the time, because he was doing the night show on Mondays. So I went on his show and he asked me all the hard questions and, why this and what do you think about this and what about marriage and all this stuff. I mean, I was getting grilled. So I was on his show probably like 2 or 3 times. And then I was asked like, hey, do you want to be a guest on the Lapeef network or the Lapeef talk show? I was like, sure. That's fine. I had no idea how big it was or how, like, prior to me going on there, I had no idea. Again, super new to YouTube. I had already created a YouTube page, but I was like tiptoeing around it. Like it wasn't a lot on there, but I had already been building content for months. So my page had already been created and it has some old videos on there, which if you go dig deep enough, you'll see that some of them are still on there. So yeah, that's the history.
Why did you leave? Well, before you start that, I can edit this part out. Do
Oh
you want to talk
no,
about? Okay.
that's fine. Like I didn't
Okay. Well, let me
necessarily.
ask. Hold on. Let me ask the question again. Okay. All
Mhm,
right. So the Lapeef Network, you left. Why?
mhm. So I think it should be known that I was just a guest panelist, right? I was never a recurring cast member on the People Let's Talk. And I think that's what people have to understand is I never had a little bubble, a little picture, I was never I was just always supposed to be a guest, y'all. So I didn't leave Lapeef.
But you said peace. You dipped though.
I didn't leave per se, but everybody has seasons. My time was up. And to be honest, I think I may have at the time been like the youngest one on the panel. And most of the stuff that they talked about, maybe I just didn't add to the conversation well enough. You know what I mean? Like with really big personalities at the time with Kay and Courtney. Um, what was my purpose there? I have to ask myself now. These are not quite before y'all be like, oh, that's why she left. No, those are questions that I asked myself, right? Like, you know, I said it before. When you have your YouTube page, like, what do you want to be known for? Really think about that. What is your brand, right? And it's great that the people that are subscribed to my channel came from Anton or came from Lapeef, right? They subscribed to me for a reason. And so, I mean, it took a lot of, okay, what do I want people to see and know about me? Is it that I want people to know me from Lapeef? And I was like, well, it's cool that I was a guest, but it's not where, I don't want to say got my start, but I was rocking like this on Instagram. I mean, when I say hundreds of people watch Lunch with Lauren for like 3 or 4 months. I was doing it twice a week consistently. People loved it and was like even asking where it was. So when I did Lunch with Lauren, I did 2 episodes of Lunch with Lauren on the Lapeef network. And yeah. And I want to be clear, the whole Lunch with Lauren background came from me having like really dope friends. Like when I say friends that have their own music company, like organization and production company is what I'm going to say, and that own their own businesses and stuff. I wanted to create a space for them to talk about what they got going on, to hear their views, and to really show everyday people doing a damn thing. You know what I mean? Like that was just Lunch with Lauren that's what it was all about. It was never supposed to be like I know everything, come to the table so I can tell you where you did wrong. Like, no, we're gonna have a conversation and I wanna chop it up, see how you got to where you at, because there's people out here that aspire to reach whatever goals that, they have.
Fair enough. So, what is your hobbies?
My hobbies, I like to travel, I like karaoke, love karaoke. And I love
You
music.
can sing?
I can hold a note. I can hold a
AKA
note.
no.
Listen, I can hold a note. Yeah, and I love concerts. I love live bands. I wish I knew how to play an instrument, but my love for music came through dance. I used to do like ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop, modern, but you cannot pay me to dance anywhere at the club. You can't pay me to dance if we just at a party. Go ahead, Lauren, show them what you got. You would never see me bust a move. But growing up, I danced, and that was my connection to music.
Who's your favorite artist?
Tony Braxton, Whitney Houston, Brandy, Jasmine Sullivan.
You too young to be having those as your favorite artist.
Are you kidding me?
You wasn't even born.
Freddie Jackson is up there. I mean, I'm the stylistics, the dramatics, the whispers, all of them. Anita Baker.
Would you ever write a book?
Yes. And it's funny that you said that, because I did meet with my homegirl, has her own publishing company. Met with her. We kind of outlined some things, and like the goal for me this year was to like write the book. The goal for 2021. Did it happen? No. But I would absolutely write a book.
So when it comes to Black people, right? What's one thing you want to take away from Black people that you believe would help them? I think it's fried chicken, but what do you think?
Well, if I had to take one thing away from Black people that would help them improve their lives.
Yeah. But us as a whole, not just your family, right?
That would improve their lives. Shoot, probably Kool-Aid and the thousands of pounds of sugar. Like, I understand the concept, but maybe take away the Kool-Aid. That's
Okay, so
that's literally and figuratively, people. I'm deep, I know, but like got all business all up in the Kool-Aid and don't even know the flavor. Just we need to mind our business and protect our diabetes, okay? Protect ourselves from diabetes.
what's one thing you want to add to the Black community that you believe will help us? Maybe from other cultures and so forth. Well,
Yes.
no, I shouldn't even say that, right? Because I know people got mad at Amira. So let's just say, what do you think would help the Black community if we added or have more of?
We need to vet people more. We need to be more involved in our friends and families' lives. We need to ask questions. Who you hanging out with? Ask the who, what, when, where, and why. And don't feel like you're intruding. Like, it's a form of protection. Like, I wish my brothers are more when I was growing up, like, ask more questions about who I liked. Who you like? Who are you dating? Like, you get the quintessential brother of like, brothers are so overprotective. Not mine. Like, they didn't know unless I said something, or I was just like, hey guys, I want to talk about this, but like, we need to ask more questions.
So you moved from from Michigan to Los Angeles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why would you move from a blue state to another blue state?
That's not why I made my decision.
Well,
I
I'm sorry. Let's start with that, right? Because I don't want to get into political, right? But the transition from where you was at to where you're currently at, do you regret it?
No, I don't regret it. I think it was necessary for my move. It forced isolation. I moved here. I don't have any friends here. I don't go out as often. So I'm more intentional with my time. I could do one or two things. I could choose to stay in bed all day and work from my bed, literally laptop in my lap, or I can get up, shower, sit at a computer desk, work, create a routine, a schedule, and really shift some things that I just was comfortable doing. Like, we have to get out of being comfortable with some things that we've created. One of those is working out. Before I moved here, I had a trainer, personal trainer. I moved here, couldn't find one until recently, and now I'm back debating on, like, okay, do I have it in me to not have a personal trainer and just do it on my own? So these are things that I'm working with myself on, and I think we all need to be in a situation sometimes to be tested, like test ourselves.
Do you feel like losing weight was the biggest accomplishment? Because you wasn't big to begin with, but I know you lost the weight and then you lost the weight again and you've been consistent with it.
No, I think my biggest accomplishment to date was trusting myself. Because like I said before, and I'll get into what I mean by that. Before, um, like I said, I had to learn to find my voice, right? I had to figure out, who is Lauren at the core. And I was a people pleaser. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, people ask me to do stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I took no care in the world to like who I was and why. So I had a really good job making close to six figures. Dude, like, it was great, but I wasn't happy. And I quit that job with no job. And I was
Mm.
unemployed for a few months. I mean, and when I made the decision to quit, I didn't like text people and be like, should I do it? Should I not? I just did it. And my peoples was tripping, like, you quit a job with no job? Are you crazy? Blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, guys, I'm fine. Like, you should be more happy that I didn't lose my mind in this job and that I walked away like with my head held high. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my proudest moment, is literally trusting myself to walk away from a job and then fall into another job. Like, literally, this job found me and get to do what I love and then some. So,
Congratulations on that. No, because that's big for you to make that
yeah.
decision, and you don't have nobody where you're currently at.
Well, let me put a timestamp on it though, because that happened in 2018 into 2019. And so I've been with my current job for almost 4 years now. So it's been some time, but that period of my life, I think, is
But
when I
even
was
that, yeah.
tested the most. And then runner up is probably the weight loss thing. It's like this, I thought that I was one of those people who couldn't be consistent about anything. And I found myself to be consistent, and I was able to see the fruits of that.
So how do you feel about Megan Good that recently been divorced, right? And bullheaded Tiffany Haddish that recently broke up with Common. How do you feel about these liberal women that are very open about their failed relationships, but then they're blaming the men, and the men are quiet about it, but the females feel like they have to speak, especially bullheaded Tiffany Haddish.
Oh my gosh. I was following you until you said that they was blaming the men, right? Now because I was gonna say, like, I'm glad that women are speaking out. We need to be more vocal about why things didn't work out. Because you asked the question earlier about, like, why do we feel like families aren't staying together? Like, why do Black families have an issue, like, problem with that? I think you asked that question earlier, or something along those lines. And a part of that is because they're not having the conversation. We never knew why certain people in our family didn't work out, because y'all don't want to talk about it. You're like, okay, we're gonna write that off. But for Megan Good and, well, to the
Bullheaded
Franklins,
Tiffany Haddish. Yeah.
I'm not calling her that. That's
Okay.
disrespectful. She likes her hair. If she
What she
likes it,
said
I
about
love
she
it.
don't have no hair, but what she said about Common, do you think that's
What did she
respectful?
say?
She said sexuals, he's not performing sexually well. She's like on a few hours on different platforms talking about him. This is when they was dating, and even talking about how she slept with Chingy and her, I think Chingy brother and or cousin. Them two had sex with at the same time. This is while she was dating Common.
Okay.
Now
What's
that will be considered the mileage, right? So, but what I think is that why, for instance, right, if me and you in a relationship, right, me and you in a relationship, it didn't work out. You'll go on the internet and tell people why it didn't work out.
not
And of
if
course,
the
put the blame on
well,
me.
no, not if, I mean, if the relationship was never made public to begin with, I don't have anything to say, right? But if the relationship was made public, like Commons and uh Megan Goods, if they started off the narrative with, oh, these things are what's popping, this is why we work, we're so great together, whoop de whoop, I'm and then it don't work out, people are going to want to know what's going on. Now, whether or not what she's saying is true or not, that's 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 her. Now, if Common wants to rebut it, he can, and he probably should. That if the facts are true, who am I to tell Tiffany to be quiet? Like what I say before, we need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. We need to stop feeding the monster. I don't care about these people in their relationships, but since it's out there, we got to take it for what it's worth.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only reason why I have to bring that up is so when I cut up the clips, people gonna be even interested. I could put the
Yeah,
title,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I really don't. I don't really have interest in bullheaded women. But what do you? Okay, so who is the closest to you?
Mm, what do you mean? I don't.
Like
Nobody.
family? Who would you feel is the closest to you?
Mm, maybe my best
Damn,
friend.
mom can't get no love. Damn.
I don't talk to her every day.
But no, not like who you speak to the most in your heart. Like
Oh, in my heart, that's different. It's
like damn.
family. It's family.
Wow.
But like,
I'm gonna send your
I,
mom this clip.
you should. I don't talk to a lot of people every day. But
Yeah.
who is the closest to me? Family is definitely number one. Like, I
But
value my
you gotta
family
pick
a
one
lot.
person. Doesn't matter, friend, family, whatever.
If I had to pick one person, sure, it'd be my mom. But
Okay. So let's take your mom, right?
okay.
Okay. 'Cause you feel like you was forced to pick her. Poor mom, right?
Yeah.
But say mom, God forbid, right? She passed away today. What is something that you will regret that you didn't say or do with her?
Mm, I don't think I would have any regrets. No regrets.
Okay. So would you rather have love or respect?
Respect.
Would you rather get stranded on Antarctica or desert?
Desert.
Would you rather marry a homeless person or a hoe?
A homeless person.
Okay, so you do like that T-fall now, huh?
They look, homeless people probably would appreciate things in life more, and hoes probably feel more entitled.
I'm from New York. Homeless people are the ones robbing us. All right, they be breaking you. You haven't seen
I wouldn't
Friday
know.
Ezell. You haven't seen Ezell on Friday.
Yeah, he's resourceful. Ezel's resourceful.
So today on your Instagram live, you was kind of stingy with sharing some of your goals for next year. You was kind of
Yeah.
stingy. So 2022 is a few days away. What can your supporters expect from you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say like more videos into like my transformation. Not really transformation, but like just me, my journey. Like I know I said it in my little intro video. Here's what you can expect from me, the fitness, all of these things. I feel like, it's what you want to do versus what people want to see. A lot of people are really into, or I don't want to say obsessed, but a lot of people really care about my dating life, oddly. Like they want to know who I'm dating, and why, how's it going. I've had multiple requests for me to record me date going on dates or something like that. Like I would never do that, but I think it's great that people want to see me in a relationship. I want to see me in a relationship, but before I get there, there are things I got to do. So I want to take people on that journey of like, I can't be in a relationship if I'm not all the way comfortable with the way I look, i.e., I have to work out. I can't be in a relationship if I haven't fully articulated what I'm looking for in a partner. If I'm still going back and forth, like, what is it going to take for me to get solid? So I want to take them on that journey. And if people are paying close attention, they probably can kind of already see it through the multiple lives that I've been on, through the different panel conversations. They can see the growth or not, depending on who you are and you know how you critique me. But yeah.
Would you consider doing like a vlog? Or a vlog is what? You video recording you doing something? That's what a vlog is?
Hmm.
All right. So would you ever consider vlogging a date? But the thing is that it can't be your actual date, you know? It can't
What do you
be an
mean?
actual you can't sit there and record an actual date. It's just kind of weird, right? But I think if you have if someone you like it has to be like the third date. It can't be the first date. Got to
Yeah,
be
it
intimate,
definitely won't be
you
the
know.
first couple dates. No.
So would you consider doing that? I mean, I think it will be cool because everyone's interested in it, right? They just want to see how you interact because you gotta understand, you're the thing about you is that you're not like most of the women that's on you don't, you're not fattening up. You're not doing that. So I think real mature men or just men that's not mature yet, they really want to see how is it to interact. You bring a mature guy on there just to see I think just to see the interaction, two people sitting at a table. How would a real man start a conversation? It'll be interesting because a lot of these men they don't know.
So I tell the people, like I tell all my friends, like, or just with social media in general, like people won't know I got somebody until like I'm proposed to or I'm getting married. Like I'm not one of those people who wants to show who I'm dating. And here's prime examples, right? You think about all the couples, YouTube couples that have channels. The I don't even know their name, but they broke up, Diera and whatever the dude's name is, but he got caught cheating. Like there's so many couples, even Queen, what's her name? Queen Naja. Like she started on YouTube and she
Yeah,
had a channel with her and her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend broke up. They got the big thing. So like there are couples that started that were not necessarily together, and people got so invested in it that they can't separate the person from the relationship.
yeah.
And I got a taste of that because I interviewed the lead attorney, and people were literally marrying me off to the lead attorney.
Yeah, I
Like,
was too. I was like,
and
yeah.
that's dangerous, right? Especially for a single woman. Like, I don't want to say dangerous, that's too hard of a word, but kind of dangerous. Like for a single woman who's actually looking, if nobody who is familiar with the situation, familiar with the meaningless flirts that happen on the panel and stuff, and they just randomly came on YouTube, they would really think that me and the lead attorney were dating.
It would have been nice.
But it,
Yeah, I get you
bad
though.
for me because like what if I was into somebody else or talking to somebody and then we
But
create unnecessary drama?
listen, the way social media is, it's not real. Okay, it's not real, and if it is real, it shouldn't be spoken about.
Period. That's how things get
So
ruined when you give people too much of something and they just don't know how to act.
yeah, I think people are more excited about the situation than you, right?
Then seriously, that's why I cammed up on somebody's channel the other day, and it was just a simple, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, Lauren." I'm like, "Hey." What's up with you and Lee? Like, whoa.
Oh
Like,
wow.
that's the second thing out your mouth. Like,
Mm, 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 mm.
I didn't know
But
that.
listen, right? So would you ever consider, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm leaving it alone because I think I nagged you on Instagram. But listen, right? Would you ever consider doing a vlogging date? It don't have to be, like Cinderella, no romantic date. We're from the hood. Well, you're not from the hood. I'm from the hood. So just a regular sit down, get together, having some lunch or whatever with someone that you consider a friend, but literally be like a friendly date. It's not.
What I will do, I would consider maybe having like an after date reaction. So like after the date is
Okay.
over, then having him come on and share his experience and me share mine and be like, so what's in it for the cards? Like, what didn't you like? What did you say? What sign? Like I would do like kind of that dialogue. But no, I don't know that I would like ask him like on the third or fourth day, like,
No, no.
okay,
What I'm saying is that it can be like you and a friend, a male friend, sitting down,
it won't be
having.
authentic. That's not what people want though.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. People want to be nosy. I get it.
People want to be nosy. So I
So
think that's the only way that they'll get like the inside scoop is if I invite whomever to the platform and be like, let's have a conversation.
so with that guy, if he does like a review of the date, right? Was he gonna say like her teeth fell out?
I'll probably say it because we remember we both will be able to share our experience. So it's like,
No, I'm
yeah,
saying would he say that I went on a date with Melissa, Lauren Melissa, and her teeth fell out? Would he say that
yeah. Because
your
I
teeth
would
fell out?
I mean, if that actually happened, I would tell him like, don't hold back. Like
You don't
literally
got real
say,
teeth?
I do have real teeth, dude. But I'm saying if that actually happened,
Listen, okay. So that's your goal for 2022. How do you want your supporters to support you?
sharing and commenting, man. That's the best way, and telling people about the channel, like that's the best way of support is sharing and commenting. I know that if you're on the grind, you're not always on YouTube, so I don't expect to have hundreds and thousands of views in a couple hours. I'm not there yet. I respect everybody's time and I'm appreciative, so just sharing the content.
Okay. And last question, why did you take the interview?
Why did I take the interview? One, because you asked, right? I've checked a number of your interviews out, and I was like, it's harmless, right? Because my thing is your next best friend, your next BFF, and authenticity, and just being real. Like this is just another way of people experiencing who Lauren Melissa is.
Okay. So what we're gonna put you in what's called the hot seat. Okay.
Mhm.
So the hot seat, you just answer the question or statement with one word.
Okay,
Okay. All right. So you rather date a guy with teeth, with with teeth, or without teeth?
with teeth.
What state you don't want to live in?
Shit, Florida.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. Okay. Family.
The greatest gift.
One word.
Fun.
Strip club or church?
Church.
Bunny.
Evil.
Lizzo on social media.
Necessary.
Unnecessary?
No, I said necessary.
All right. So we'll stick with unnecessary. Got it. Homeless people.
uh, Unfortunate.
America's current state.
Shambles.
YouTube or Instagram?
Instagram.
Jesus is white.
Lie.
Um, if there was a war, who will win? East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Who is more privileged, black people or gay people?
Gay people.
Do you love black people?
Yes.
Do you love white people?
Yes.
Winter.
Pretty.
Summer.
Death.
So, how often do you pray to white Jesus?
I don't pray to white Jesus. I prayed to Jesus.
No, but there's only one word.
Uh, how often do I pray to white Jesus?
Yeah, the
Never.
Messiah.
Never.
How to go to heaven?
Be good. Goodness.
It's free.
Nothing is free. Nothing. And you can at least let me do phrases, like, because if I was just to say nothing, it'd be like, what? That don't make sense. Nothing is free.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Thanksgiving.
Your last name, the meaning.
Irish. It's Irish. I don't know the meaning.
No, but to you, like your legacy, you know.
Oh, like you trying to get deep.
No.
Socialite.
Okay, so who is more of a thought? Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B?
Cardi B.
This interview.
Interesting. Interesting.
Did you have fun?
Yes, this is a good time. Yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make the interview a little, different, right?
Doing one words.
Listen, I highly appreciate you taking the interview. I do appreciate it. Hope I didn't get all up in your business,
No, I hope you had fun. Did you have fun?
I should.